Hi artists! This week we are going to be fashion designers. A fashion designer is someone who designs clothing and accessories for people to wear. There are lots of ways that you can become a fashion designer at home this week. One thing that you can do is to put together your own outfits. So this is something that we do every day on a regular basis. You can use all of the different clothing items and accessories you have at home to make your own unique style. Another thing that you can do is use Google Draw to design your own clothing online. So Google Draw is a really simple way to take outlines of shirts, hats, pants, whatever you want to design, and add color and pattern to it to make it really unique. Another thing you can do is create a 2D negative space fashion design. So this is my elephant I made. I pasted a picture of an elephant on this note card and then cut out the shape of her dress so that way I could put her up to different materials and take pictures so it looks like she's wearing that fabric or design. Alright guys, so today we're going to learn how to use Google Draw to make our own clothing. So if you go to Google, you can search Google Draw and it should pull up results. So I've clicked on the first one here. And I'm already signed in, but you may want to sign in to your account so that way you can save it easier. Okay, so to start, we're going to insert image and we're going to search the web. Now here's where you can decide what kind of clothing you want to do. I don't think I'm going to do a shirt drawing, but whatever you decide to do, you need to put the 3 magic letters after, PNG. Alright, so a PNG file means that the background is see-through, so I can see the checkerboard behind my shirt, and if my shirt were white, it would also be see-through. So that's kind of important to have it so that you can design your shirt a little bit better. Alright, after I have my file inserted, I'm going to try to get to the center of my picture because I think it looks better when it's in the middle. So I'm looking for those red lines, oh there they are, and line it up so that it's in the center. Okay, so there's lots of different things that you can do to change your clothing. You can make stripes by making lines. So if you choose line, you could drag your line across the front of your clothing, and you can even choose how thick or thin you want your lines to be. Making it a bigger number means it's going to make a thicker stripe. I can even change the color of my stripe. So if I go up to where I see a pencil, and I can look for a different color for my stripe. Alright, after I have one stripe, instead of just making a bunch of stripes over and over again, I'm just going to copy and paste. So that way I can get the same stripe going all the way down my shirt. You can also hit Command C or Control C to copy and Command V or Control V to paste. Now when I copy and paste my stripes, I notice that if I drag it down just enough that it gets that red line. I want that red line because that means that it's in the middle of my shirt. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is insert some different shapes. So I'm looking for some cool shapes to make a design or a pattern on my shirt. Kind of like the sun, so I'm going to make that in the middle. And I think I want to change the color of it. So I can go up here to fill color and then change the color of my sun. If you wanted to, you can even go back up and change the color of your line, the outline of your sun. You can make it bigger or smaller if you click on it and drag on the corners, but I think I like it how it is, so I'm going to copy and then paste it so that way I can create a pattern for my shirt. Alright, when you're ready for a new shape, you can go back up to Shapes, select a new one. Again, you're going to need to draw it on your shirt. You can always change the size and shape of it a little bit after you have it put in. And then of course, change the color. So for my shirt, I chose to do an A-B pattern. So that means that I have 2 different parts to my pattern. A is the sun and B is the moon. So it goes sun, moon, sun, moon. You can kind of do something like that, or you could create a more complicated pattern. Maybe your pattern goes A, B, B, A, sun, moon, moon, sun. You decide how you want to make your shirt and design it, because you are the fashion designer this week. All right, here's my finished shirts. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I like the color, and I like the different designs I put on it. Now, when you're ready to save it, it of course saves to your Google Drive if you signed in. A good idea is to go up and name it, give it a cool name, and then you can either share it. You could get the shareable link if you hit share, and you could just insert a link on Seesaw, or you could go up to File, and then you could go to Download, and you could download the image. So if you choose to download it, I think PDF or a PNG image will work. Next, we're going to learn how to create a negative space fashion design. The artist that inspired this project is called Tall Short Artists. She has a Facebook page that has projects for any age to do. She cut out the dress that her doll is wearing so that it's a negative space that you can hold up to different objects and patterns to create her own design. We're going to do something similar, but what I did instead was take different heads that I found. I used animal heads for mine because I thought it'd be kind of funny, but you can use whatever head or person that you want for this project. I also just used note cards, so you can use whatever paper you have around the house to do this. I started by folding my note cards in half lengthwise, so that way I had a skinny piece of paper. I didn't crease it very hard, I just kind of left it a little loose. Next, I grabbed my note card and laid one of my animal heads going half on the fold and half off. This is so that I can create a neckline that is the right size for my animal. I drew the clothing item, in this case a dress, starting on the fold and ending on the fold line. So make sure you're not drawing on your loose ends, otherwise this won't work for you. Next, after I have my design drawn, I took my scissors and cut along the lines, keeping my paper folded so that way I can cut out both halves at the same time. Okay, that one is done. I'm going to come back and glue down the elephant head here in a minute, but I'm going to work on my other designs first. Now this is a bit of an extra step that you can decide to do if you want to. I took some extra paper to tape on the back of my shirt and I added some buttons with some glue dots, and then on my elephant I decided to add some fringe onto the bottom of her dress. I even took some extra fabric I had lying around and cut a bow tie for my horse. I had a lot of fun holding these up to different fabrics around my house. Even paintings were cool underneath the designs that I made. I hope you can find some cool patterns and designs in your house with this one. Have fun designing your own clothing this week. I cannot wait to see what you come up with.